You know what? It's Friday.
Yay.
Good morning for Win and Tim Mornings on TV. How are you this morning?
I'm fine. Oh, you weren't talking to me.
No, I was talking to our friends. Now I'll ask you. How are you?
I'm really well rested.
Good. Are you good?
I had a rehearsal last night for Mamma Mia, and I danced. So
So is this like a first for you to dance and sing?
No.
What a dumb question, apparently.
I started taking dance classes when I was 15 years old from Kim Greco here in Sault Ste. Marie at Kiana School of Dance Arts. Yes, and then I continued taking dance classes while I was a young actor in Toronto. I took singing lessons from the age of, Marguerite Griffith started teaching me when I was about 15, same as well.
Well, there was some money well invested.
Yes, and then,
It took you a second.
Well, I'm a little slow on the uptake. I'm still.
Apparently, you're still sleepy.
I'm still sleepy because it's gloomy.
It is. It's gloomy. And you know what? One of the big stories this morning is that the winds are going to pick up this afternoon to the point where we might have to have an actual warning.
Ooh, a wind warning?
Yeah, a wind warning. They're going to come from the southwest about 70 to 80 kilometers an hour starting this afternoon, like later this afternoon, and then into this evening. And they're going to change from west to northwest, so the farmers know what all that means.
Do you know? You used to do weather.
I do.
Do you know what it means?
Yeah, when it changes direction like that, it just means there's a lot of activity around it.
It's forcing things to happen.
Yes, so that's why it's unpredictable.
Oh,
yeah.
With the winds.
And the speeds, of course, are crazy.
Really?
Yes.
High winds.
Yeah, 70 to 80 kilometers an hour.
Oh, strap down your everythings.
Yeah, well, it says, right, a wind warning might be required, so damage to buildings like shingles and stuff like that.
Oh, that's okay. We have a brand new metal roof.
Oh, awesome.
Well, it's not finished yet, but it's not going to fly off or anything.
No, it won't.
That's why I'm glad this movie's ending, because Mr. Bowser's going to be unemployed for the next month and he can finish my house. Our house. Sorry. Our house.
Our house
is a very, very, very fine house.
What you got?
Kiss. Yeah, thank you. The Kiss is on their another farewell tour, but this one they're calling the end of the road. This is really going to be it for the band Kiss.
How many farewell tours? They're like Cher.
Cher, I know. She's coming back.
Retires.
She's like a skinny, pretty boomerang. She just keeps coming back again.
Yeah, she looks awesome.
73 is she now, Cher?
You know what? Chill.
Stop working. She's got to be so rich.
Oh.
Anyway, they got to be rich too.
So do you think it's ego at that point?
No, I think it's love of
addiction.
I think it's the love of the thing.
Yeah,
I think they
have to sing. Because I've heard artists talk about that. Even like authors and speakers, they have to do it.
They're just not, retirement is not something they're ready to do yet.
Right.
And then, come out of retirement. Just because someone says, I'm done, Barbra Streisand did the same thing.
Yes.
I'm finished, and then she's back out of retirement.
And Cher's doing a whole album of ABBA.
The stuff from Mamma Mia, because she played the mother, right?
Yeah.
So Kiss is at it again. They're going back on tour.
Thank goodness we have all this entertainment. Hey, you know what else happened this week?
What?
Wednesday was Wee Day in Toronto.
Oh, you know what? I've been to 2 Wee Days.
Aren't they inspirational?
I went to a Wee Day in Ottawa, and then I went to a Wee Day at Radio City Music Hall in New York City.
Wow.
Can you believe that?
That must have been a little different from the ones that we do at GFL Memorial Gardens.
But 16,000 kids were at the one
awesome.
at the Ottawa, whatever that, Air Canada, Canadian Tire Center in Ottawa. And then the Radio City Music Hall, of course, I don't even know what the capacity in that building is. But yeah, you got major. But when we did them here, and I say we because Donna Hilsinger and the school boards, and I was working at that time for Algoma Public Health, and we partnered with them on that. And we had Craig Kilberger here.
He was awesome too.
We had Spencer West here, who was the gentleman who was only has amputated from the hips down. He was here. We had lots of big entertainment too. So we had great Wee Days.
So,
but we weren't actually Wee Days. We were Youth the Sioux.
Yeah, Youth
because
the Sioux.
We is a very specific brand, and we were not a Wee Day.
Well, and it's too expensive to buy a Wee Day.
Huge. But anyway.
In Toronto on Wednesday, my daughter was there, brought her high school classes.
Oh, she went?
Yeah,
as a teacher, she brought her class.
Yeah, so she just loves it. She gets to go quite often. The Arkells Canadian band played. She said, just phenomenal. One of her favorite bands. And then this morning, so funny, Peter Mansbridge, who's like the hottest former newscaster.
Married to my friend Cynthia Dale.
In the whole world.
I'm a name dropper.
Gosh, he's hot. He's so cute. Retired, as I mentioned. He was at We Day, and you know that eagle from the Muppets?
Sam the Eagle from the Muppets.
Flat head and really
Yes.
like this.
Yeah.
He got his picture taken, so he tweeted with Sam.
Peter
that he
Mansbridge
said,
and
"Oh,
Sam?
look it! I finally got to do the Muppets."
Peter Mansbridge finally got into the Muppets. Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah, they've been married. They had an anniversary recently. They've been married a while.
Have
Another
they?
successful show business couple in Canada.
Awesome,
Yeah.
awesome. Is she still acting?
Cynthia?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, yes. She's coming back to Street Legal.
Oh,
they're
good.
bringing her character back again.
Awesome.
Yes. Olivia, I think was her name, was it? I'm not positive.
I don't
But anyway,
remember.
yes, she's so excited to be back in the robes again. She said the first time she put the robes on, very emotional for her.
Really?
Yeah, having that character come back again.
Oh, awesome. So how do you know her? From acting,
She played my
obviously.
mother. Cynthia Dale is 2 years older than I am.
I was going to say.
Yeah, and when we did, it was an original Canadian musical called the Count of what was I?
The Count of something.
Well, who's
One,
the famous
two,
count?
3.
Why can't I think of it?
Dracula?
No, he's a French count. It's
Comment
a
ça
famous
va?
novel. Oh, for crying in the wilderness. The Count of Monte Cristo. Oh, and I played Albert de Morcerf, who was Cynthia's
Oh.
son. So she played a younger version of herself in Act 1, and then in Act 2 she had to play my mother. But well, not that Cynthia looks any older than me. She looks younger than me now.
She's gorgeous, too.
Anyway, so yeah. And then Keith
Awesome.
worked with Jennifer Dale, her older sister.
Oh.
Their whole family's...
You guys are so connected.
Yeah. And I have Jennifer Dale's bathrobe.
Really?
I wear it when I shave in the morning.
Stop it.
There was a TV series called What Would Sal Do? And Jennifer was one of the lead characters on it. And Keith brought home her, after the show closed, they didn't need the bathrobe anymore, so I got Jennifer Dale's bathrobe.
You
I
got
wonder if I
it or
could get
you
it.
stole it?
I didn't take it. I hope Keith doesn't get in trouble now. I don't. If Jennifer Dale, if you're watching and you want your bathrobe back, you can have it.
She's watching. What do you mean?
Trump is at it again. He's transferred $260 million from cancer research and HIV/AIDS and other programs to fund the immigrant children who are stuck at the border, who've been separated from their parents.
So funding them as in to support them.
To help keep them.
To feed them, to keep them.
Yeah, because he separated all these children from their families, and now they can't reunite them. I think there's still 1,500
Yeah.
children who are not with their parents. So to keep those children in captivity, in care, I should say, I suppose, he's taken $260 million from cancer research and AIDS HIV programs.
Well, those cages are very expensive that you put the kids in.
And then I just saw a
Very.
picture of a bus arrives, Women for Kavanaugh, okay? So there's,
Oh,
he's
God.
freaking out now because he knows
Yeah.
that the women are against him. I mean, they're being hauled out of Congress's office and Senate offices, being handcuffed and dragged out, these female protesters. So Kavanaugh's plan now is to come out saying that women support him. Now, you were the one
Yeah,
who
good
mentioned
luck
that
with
the
that.
65, it's down to like a dwindling number who
Yes.
actually say they're still with him.
Yeah.
So there's a thing, Women for Kavanaugh on a big bus, and they all arrive, they pull up, Women for Kavanaugh, 6 women and 7 men.
And his accuser finally committed to doing an interview. She was waiting to actually have the criminal process begin. She wanted the FBI to look into it. Very smart. She's a psychologist, psychiatrist. Very, very obviously smart woman. Little afraid. Her family's
Death threats,
been
they're in hiding.
threatened. They had to move out of their house. All
Yeah.
of the above. So she finally, though, yesterday said, "Okay, I'm going to be interviewed." I think one senator will interview her
Privately.
But imagine
And Brett,
just a common, not a common, but average Joe comes into a situation like that with all these senators looming over her.
and they're saying, the Republicans are saying, we don't have time for an FBI investigation. Anita Hill investigation took 3 days. They can't wait 3 days for this
You
confirmation?
don't have time to make it right?
Yeah. So, and she's also insisting that, now they say that this is negotiable. Some of this stuff is negotiable, but she has requested, her lawyer has requested
Yes.
that Brett Kavanaugh testify first. He be questioned by the senator first, and then she can go in. So,
Would she watch
and
him, I
separately,
wonder?
no, they won't see each other's
I
interviews.
wonder why
become-
she wants him to go first.
Probably because if she goes first, then he's going to have a chance to make up some stories. But if he goes first and then she goes in,
But if he can't hear what she's saying.
this is the thing, though. So how? I think she just wants his side of the story. He wants to get his side of the story out, and I don't think he has a side.
No, it's the wrong side if he does have a side.
He says he can't remember anything. And
Hey,
she's-
you know what I'm doing this
No, what?
weekend? I'm going to Doug Ford's house in Vaughan for a barbecue. Yeah. Everybody can go. Vaughan,
Yes.
Vaughan's the place to be.
I hear they're cooking up pieces of the dead Constitution.
Yes, they are. It's going to be a little chewy, kind of like jerky, but yeah, he's hosting a big barbecue.
Yeah.
Imagine the gloating that was happening.
Oh,
after
when the courts came back
decided-
and said that he had the right to do what he did constitutionally,
Sure
but
he
it's
did.
not the way he should have done it. There should have been an appeal.
And he said he was going to appeal, but that wasn't like good enough. It wasn't like
Fast
quick
enough.
enough.
No.
So now, yesterday, they opened nominations for people in Toronto to put themselves into the race for councillor.
For 25 seats.
For
Who will have
school board trustees
something
and all of the
ridiculous
above,
like-
which is happening in like a month, almost to the day.
Yeah, really fair.
Awesome.
Really fair.
You know what? People are going to vote and go, who the what? Who is
Who
that?
are you? Mm-hmm.
You know?
Well, imagine trying to get a campaign together in that short period
Right?
of time. For
Signs
25
and-
seats.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
Anyway, we have a great show this morning.
Yes, what do you have?
Well, CIBC Run for the Cure is coming up. It's the 20th anniversry, and
Wow.
they're going to be talking about the run and how they need some volunteers and all that great stuff. They've raised. Well, we'll talk about when Cynthia comes on. But that's our first guest, and then secondly, Culture Days is coming up. We have two fantastically fun ladies sharing the studio with us today. Kathy Fisher from the Ermitinger-Clerc National Historic Site.
She's awesome.
And Helena Huopalainen. There's Helena Huopalainen from the Public Library.
Awesome.
Talking
So
about
much
what
to
they're
do
doing. And
this
then, of course,
morning.
it's Fur and Feathers Friday.
Fur and Feathers
the
Friday.
Humane Society will be here to bring in an animal just to bug you.
I think I should wear a boa, feather boa. Every
I thought
Friday.
you should wear a boa constrictor, and then I have the show all to myself. Stay with us. We'll be back with more Mornings with Lou Ann and Tim. Right after this!
When it first started, September, love was changing the minds, tender, while chasing the clouds away. Blinded by the light, wrapped up like a douche, another runner in the night. Blinded by the light, wrapped up like a douche, another.
Welcome back to Mornings with Lou Ann and Tim, and I'm joined now by Cynthia Sabarin. I like that name, Cynthia Sabarin. Sounds like a stage name. Cynthia, you are currently the run director for the CIBC Run for the Cure.
Correct.
You've had this title for how many years now?
This is my second year.
Congratulations on being the run director. But you've been involved with the run as a participant and as a volunteer for a number of years.
Yes,
And this is its anniversary this year.
it is. It is our 20th anniversary here in Sault Ste. Marie, which is
Fantastic.
very exciting.
Run for the Cure is specifically about breast cancer. Is that correct, or is it all cancers?
It is specifically breast cancer.
Specifically breast cancer. I like your your sweatshirt there. Very nice. You, over the 20 years, can you tell me how much the efforts have raised for the Run for the Cure?
Absolutely. So here in Sault Ste. Marie, we have raised $1.3 million.
Amazing! Come on, that's fantastic. And then last year, what was your total last year?
Last year we raised $43,000.
So we're looking to beat that this year.
Absolutely.
Come on, Sault Ste. Marie, we know you can do it. You always come through for us, right?
Yes.
Now, the funds that you raise and from Run for the Cure, how is that money spent?
So the funds that are raised go towards
Prevention.
Prevention.
Obviously, we want to,
prevention, diagnostics,
Yeah.
treatment.
Okay.
It also goes towards breast cancer information and
Right.
support.
Okay.
And it's definitely so that nobody faces breast cancer alone in Canada.
That's beautiful. You have a theme this year, is that right? Or like a title kind of thing? Like
Right, so we have a campaign
A
this
campaign.
year.
See, that's why she's here and I listen.
So our campaign is, I promise to make breast cancer beatable.
And it is, isn't it? It will be. It's
We're
gotta
getting
be.
there. We're getting
We've
there.
made huge advancements.
We have. So right now, statistics tell us that it's 1 in 8 women that will be affected by breast cancer.
Wow, okay.
So that has grown.
Okay.
Okay, so that number was 1 in
Like 4. So you
we're
halved it
we've
already.
made it. Like we're getting better.
And so much of this, Cynthia, tell me, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but so much of that is awareness and education. Am I right?
Yes.
It's early prevention. So
Yes.
you've got to do your breast exam, self examination. You've got to get your what are they squish
Your mammograms.
mammograms. Yes.
Yes.
Or as my mother used to call it, a booby sandwich.
Yes.
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 What else is there? Diet and stuff. I mean, there's-
Diet and exercise, you know,
Exercise.
your physicals, like
It's
to
really
maintain your health.
It's really being in tune with your body, isn't it?
In tune with your body, also knowing your family history.
That's hugely important, right?
Yes.
And to do that, you can go through genetics, right? You can get genetics testing done and stuff.
Yes, there is genetic testing that is available now, that they're trying to single out a particular gene.
Okay.
That may give you a bit more information as to, you know, your likelihood of.
Do you personally have any connection with cancer in your family or friends that you got involved with this for a reason? Or?
So my grandmother
Oh yes.
had breast cancer. She survived,
Oh,
so that was, you know, very good.
excellent.
Yes.
But you saw the ordeal that she went through firsthand.
Yeah, you know, it wasn't easy, but they caught it quick.
Okay.
You know, she went through surgery. Thankfully, she was a candidate for a chemo drug versus having to go to a hospital.
Oh.
So that was great news. So she survived cancer. Unfortunately, she is an angel now.
Okay.
So that touched home to all of us.
For sure.
So my girls and I always participated in the race.
Your daughters too?
Yes.
And your daughter, one of your daughters is here today off
Yes.
camera. Hello, daughter. What's this week?
Caitlin.
Hi, Caitlin. Thanks for being here, Caitlin. She's got her sweatshirt on too. Are you going to do the walk or the run, Caitlin, this year?
She is part of the committee.
You're part of the committee. That's great. So you've been on the committee, I said, for 3 years now, right? Where the run date, as it says on your shirt, is September the 30th.
Yes, we are at the Roberta Bondar Pavilion.
It's a great place to start.
It is. Registration will start at 8:30.
Okay, so now, if people haven't already got a team together, or even, so you can do individual, you can do team,
Yep.
workplace, family, friends.
Absolutely. School teams,
Oh.
high schools that need some volunteer hours,
If
you know.
need volunteer hours, put a team together. And
Yeah,
then go
come with a couple friends. Let's get those volunteer hours out of the way so you're not struggling at the end of grade 12 to get those done.
Right. Do we need to pre-register, or people can show up on the day to register as well?
So absolutely, it is an option to come in on the day of and register.
Okay.
Pre-registering is certainly easier.
Well, because then you're prepared and you know how, because you guys usually have things like goodie bags and stuff like that you giveaways and things, and water, you need to know how much water you need, all that kind of stuff. So it's
Yeah.
better if we let you know in advance. How do people register in advance?
So we do have a website.
Oh,
which
we have a
is-
website, and I'm going to let Michael know that, because he put it in our little thing, I forget what they call that, the bottom. Oh, look, it's there. Michael, you're amazing. Back in the booth. So we have it on the screen, www.
CIBCrunforthecure.com.
Excellent.
So on that website, you can certainly register to be a participant, whether it's just yourself as an individual, registering as a team, or you can also register as a volunteer.
Oh, now that's great. We're looking for volunteers.
Absolutely.
I was asking you before we got on camera, what kinds of duties would there be and time commitments? So explain this, because this is
Yep.
fantastic.
So our volunteers, so we've got a number of different opportunities there. So we can, you know, run marshals, set up, take down. So literally, if you have 10 minutes or you have 4 hours, sign up, pop
got a
in.
job for you.
I've got a job for you guys.
And so handing out water along the way is another one. Just being a cheerleader, just coming down to volunteer to stand on the side. If you can't participate for any reason, or you don't have the time, but you want to come down partway through and cheer them on. And the other great thing is, although it's called Run for the Cure, you can also walk for the cure.
Absolutely.
Can you explain that?
So we have two separate routes. We
Okay.
have a running route, which has a 1K route and a 5K route. If you don't want to do the 1K route and you want to run and you just want to go as far as you can, that is not a problem. You can turn around at any point. Same goes for the walking route. We have a 1K route and a 5K route, and at any point you can turn around and come back, not a problem. On site, we will have a survivors walk, so we can honor those on site that are our survivors. We can remember survivors that may have been survivors, but we've lost them since. And those are the people that we are walking for.
You're honoring the memory of, or the survivors.
The survivors.
Survivors who are still with us and those who have passed.
Yes.
Right? That's a beautiful thing. So the whole thing gets underway at 8:30 for registration.
Yep.
Then you have short opening ceremonies, dignitaries, some speeches, some motivational talk around 9:30.
Yep.
Then, just to stay safe and make sure you're warmed up, at 9:45,
We have a warm-up, and Angela,
Cupin's Davy.
yes, thank
told me
you,
that. Well, you told me that.
is doing our warm-up for us.
gonna lead
She's
a group
volunteering.
warm-up.
And then our run walk gets on our way.
All right.
Everybody comes back. We do a quick closing ceremonies. We give you our run total right there on site so that everybody gets to celebrate how much we have been able to raise. We kind of, then we need our volunteers to take everything down. So
Right.
please don't run away.
Don't run away. Run down to the Roberta Bondar Pavilion at 8:30 in the morning on Sunday. What day is it?
Sunday.
Sunday, September 30th for the CIBC Run for the Cure 20th anniversary. Cynthia Savarin, thanks so much for being here. And did you enjoy yourself?
Absolutely.
It wasn't too scary, was it?
No, thank you, Tim.
You were wonderful. We'll be back right after this message. Don't go anywhere.
I'm walking on sunshine. Whoa, I'm walking on sunshine. Whoa, I'm walking on sunshine. Ooh, baby, do you know that's what? Ooh, heaven is a place on earth. They say in heaven.
So great that we have volunteers like Cynthia
Man.
to lead up, run director for 3 years. She's been volunteering her time now.
Isn't that awesome?
I know, on the 20th
Good for
anniversary. So
her.
congratulations.
And
to
she's
the-
still so enthusiastic,
I know,
right?
and she's a sweetheart.
Yeah,
too.
it's lovely.
Yeah.
Very, very lovely.
So what have you found out
You
while
know
while you
what?
were away from me?
There's a school in Alberta that has apologized because
Oh,
they had a test, had students take a test.
Okay.
And one of the questions on the test was about the residential schools.
all right.
What were the benefits of the residential schools?
That was the question?
And it was a multiple choice question.
What were the answers? Can't even imagine.
They learned to read was one of them.
What?
Yeah.
How ignorant. Mm-hmm. And when I say ignorant, I mean like uneducated. I mean
Yeah,
like
ignorant.
Not rude, ignorant.
Yeah.
That's because ignorant doesn't mean rude for those of you who are watching who don't know that. Ignorant means uninformed.
Uninformed. Totally.
Insensitive.
Insensitive. In this day and age, my goodness.
The benefits.
And you know what? How much are we talking about reconciliation?
Truth and reconciliation.
Oh my word. Imagine that. What teacher in 2018 would not look at that test and go, yeah, even if it's in the curriculum, I am not putting this.
Somebody wrote, like somebody from the curriculum, a curriculum director.
I don't know if it was a teacher or...
I can't imagine that anybody who designs curriculum would put that question in. It had to have been a teacher just.
I can't imagine anybody would design the sex ed that we have right now, though.
Oh my
Right?
gosh.
So who knows who's designing?
I'm going to be having on the show again, I'm going to be having a police officer. I just ran into him at a conference I was at recently. We're going to have him on to talk about sexting and the dangers of internet and
good.
sharing photographs and all that kind of
And
stuff.
how big it is. It's
Because
huge.
that's been removed from the curriculum. They didn't put that part back in. Transgender they took out. They took out the stuff about sexting and online stuff. Removed.
On TV Mornings with Luann and Tim, we have our own curriculum.
We'll keep you informed,
We
people.
will tell you exactly what's happening.
We will. And you know what else is happening? Has anybody received that phone call from the Canada Revenue Agency saying that you owe tax money and you need to get to the bank and give them money or you're going to go to jail? I got one. Did you get one?
I got one too.
and
it's a robocall, so it sounds really official.
And it's coming from India. And CBC Marketplace decided to go and try to track them down. So they took a team to Mumbai and they started searching and they found this 2-story dirty apartment and they tried to go in to find out what was going on and they got chased through marketplaces by the guys who they think were armed.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, they were chased by the scammers. The Indian cybersecurity investigator calls them, this is from the guy from India, calls them financial terrorists.
Right.
And here's the bizarre part. The Indian police commissioner says nobody from Canada has ever contacted him. He said the RCMP never called him. Nobody's ever complained to India about the scamming that's been going on with this Canada Revenue Agency thing. He said he found out about it by looking at our news and seeing something online or something. Otherwise, he would never have known. What?
Do you think he's lying?
Or did the RCMP just not go through the right
Imagine
channel?
that.
I want to find out what's going on with that. Let's find out from the RCMP. Why didn't they contact the Indian government?
If they didn't.
If they didn't.
Yes, it's alleged.
Allegedly.
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 So who's coming up now?
Kathy Fisher and Helena Huopalainen. We're going to talk about culture days. They have so much fun stuff going on.
They really do.
These ladies,
Man.
well, they provide so much entertainment, usually for free and always for families. So we're
Yes.
going to find out what's going on with culture days coming up right after this. Don't go anywhere.
Just call me angel of the morning, angel. Just take my cheek before you leave me, baby. We belong to the light, we belong to the dark. We belong to the sound of the words we both wanted.
So I like that graphic of the railroad track because here I am on the wrong side of the tracks with these ladies. I'm just kidding. I'm probably the happiest boy in Sault Ste. Marie this morning because I get to have Helena Huopalainen and Kathy Fisher with me to talk about Culture Days. Helena from the Public Library and Kathy from the Ermatinger Clerg National Historic Site. Thank you for coming, guys.
Well, thank you.
This is
It's
awesome.
always fun to have you on the show separately and together. Culture Days. Big deal this year, right?
It is a big deal.
Tell me when it is. When are they?
When they are the last Friday. It's always the last Friday of September.
Okay.
So every year. So it is the Friday,
the
Saturday.
28, 29?
Yep. And we are actually starting with some things before and going right through till Saturday. So
Correct.
depends on the location because we have the Ermatinger, the library, the art gallery,
You're like, it's like, what are you calling it?
the hub.
The hub, the
The Sault
corridor.
Ste. Marie hub.
And it really is. And when you think about it, if you were to arrive in Sault Ste. Marie as a tourist, and you were talking about this before we went on air, when you arrive in Sault Ste. Marie and you get down to that neck of the woods, the art gallery, the library, walk along the waterfront, the old stone house, then you have the Bush Plain Heritage Center, then you go up and you've got the museum right on the corner there. It's just a beautiful little area for tourists to enjoy, right?
And as you mentioned, we've got the church down there, the cathedral.
We've got Precious Blood Cathedral, which is, I didn't even know how old it is now. Oh, come on, that's a beautiful historic site as well. And tourists love that kind of stuff.
So we have it, right?
We
We've
do.
got all the culture we have here. We just have to share it.
We
So
do.
the idea of Culture Days is to create, participate, and share.
And to get locals involved because there's so, I can't even imagine how many people they think, they don't understand, I don't think they've given you guys a chance. Kathy, I'll tell you that there are some sticks in the mud in this city who have not been to the
I
old stone
know.
house, to the new building, to the block house, which I love that block house. You know, get out there and do this, Sault Ste. Marie, and these ladies and our city are putting on this great party for us.
For free.
And that's the other thing, free and family.
And
Free
yes.
for all.
Let's talk about some of the events that are going on over those days, because you're jam-packed.
Okay, so we're starting on the Friday at 10 a.m. with opening ceremonies.
Okay.
And the mayor will be joining us.
Yes.
We will have the Algoma Fall Festival Choir coming in.
They're going to sing the national anthem. That's going to make me cry. Well, that Fall Festival choir is incredible.
Yeah.
And then we're going to have a group of women that have gotten together, and they call themselves Women Who Drum, and they use djembe drums.
Djembe drums, and you told me that it's Georgina Nacarado. If anybody doesn't know, you go to anything cultural in this city, and you're going to see Georgina Nacarado there. Good for her for getting the women together to drum on their djembe drums. So much fun.
Then we have the MacLeod Highland Dancers.
So now we've got Scottish culture, because the cultures we're talking about are so vast. I mean,
They are.
Explain what you said to me about culture can be so many things.
Well, this Culture Days can have individual artists, artists of all disciplines. It can be digital media.
Yeah.
It can be arts and heritage organizations, diverse
Like
cultures.
museums and libraries.
Like Kathy's there, yes. We can have libraries, archives, collections. Culture is a variety of things.
Culture means it's in all of our everyday lives. Culture is there, you know.
That's right.
So we celebrate this. My heritage is Irish. What's going on with the Irish? Anybody?
You're not there, Tim.
Oh, okay.
But we do have Sandra Mongi,
Colombian dance.
dancing.
Now, I've never seen that in Sault Ste. Marie. However, where'd you find
Pretty
them?
vibrant and colorful.
Where did you find them?
Well, she approached us, and she actually started her beginnings at the library also.
Sandra did?
Sandra is, and she's the one that teaches the Spanish lessons for adults and children.
At the library?
At the library, and it's free.
I could get free Spanish lessons. I've always wanted to learn. I mean, I speak a little bit when I go on vacation, and I lived in some places, but I never really. So yeah.
Yeah, we have great multicultural participants and partners.
Exactly. So Kathy, you mentioned the partners.
Okay, so we have the art gallery, the library, and the Ermitinger. So we're the main coordinators, but behind the scenes, we have the Sioux Community Career Center with New to the Sioux. We have the Indian Friendship Center. So and local immigration partnerships.
Correct.
So between all of these organizations, we were able to pull together some fantastic talent that's going to entertain you. And they'll be getting people to participate.
Yes, and they're very engaging with their presentations and performances. And I'm not sure
I see that this is very engaging. There's an electronic music workshop.
for teens.
How to create a beat or musical track of your own for
I
teens.
think you had Katie Huxon here,
I did have Katie
so
Huxon here.
she's the lead in that.
She's a sweetie. That Jules of Oasis I love the belly dancers. I've seen them before. They're fantastic. Always beautiful. The jingles and the costumes. It's great. Elite dance force. My girls.
And did we mention the theme this year is On Beat, Feel the Beat. So have you met George L. Courtney?
Get on beat.
George L. Courtney, who's the Syrian drummer.
Syrian? Come on, guys. You guys have done an amazing job.
Yeah.
And then we have our First Nations representative. Is this on the next day or is this the same day? Is this on the
Same
Friday?
day.
Friday, we have the Jingle Dancers,
Jingle
and,
Dancers
drummers
and
with
drummers.
the Indian Friendship
They're
Center.
at the art gallery?
They're going to do one at the art gallery, one at the Ermitinger, and we also have Chantel from the Indian Friendship Center doing a medicine walk. One will be at the art gallery and one at the Ermitinger.
Love that culture.
Yeah.
So fascinating. And then
Lots of participants.
envisioning the eighth fire. What's that? Ricky Strapp. She's great.
Yeah.
It's going to be at the Art Gallery of Algoma. It's a screening. Oh, it's a documentary. Ooh, imagine a decolonized future. Oh, wouldn't that be nice? What else is going on?
Well, Drum Fit, Kathy, you can explain about Drum Fit.
Drum Fit is, you know what, we all went through that, well, we three went through that generation with the great big exercise balls, right?
Yeah.
Well, now they're stationary on a base and you have drumsticks, and so you get on beat
Yes.
and do physical
Matt
fitness.
Montagna was in and was talking about that.
Yeah.
And he showed me one of the videos
That's right.
they work from. They drum on the ball and you do exercises while you drum.
Exactly. And how many balls do we have?
Oh, well, I think that day on Friday at the Ermitinger in the Heritage Discovery Center in the theater, we're pushing the seats in. I think we're putting up about 16 drums, but there's 4 sessions.
Oh, okay, all throughout the day.
Yeah.
I see that at 10:30, 11:30, 1:30, and 2:30.
So
drum
we're
fit
going to
goes
get on beat and get fit.
And
That's
then
scary.
What about the musket demonstrations, all that stuff? Tell me about that, Kathy.
Oh, of course, Fall Rendezvous at the Ermitinger site. We actually start on Wednesday, go to Saturday.
Oh, the Fall Rendezvous is part of Culture Days.
It is.
Aren't you clever?
And Fall Festival, we are the first event. So we are doing education days during the week, and then we move into culture days. The cannon will be outside. The candy cannon will be outside.
What's a candy cannon?
We shoot Tootsie Rolls
You
and
shoot
bubble
Tootsie
gum
Rolls?
out of the cannon.
Come on!
We line up little kids and older kids, and you get musket drill, and there's just a number of
And the
things.
Voyageurs are going to be there.
The
all that
Voyageurs,
time?
we're going to have the surgeon, from 1812. No, he's really not,
I was
but
going to say, I don't want him to
but
remove any of my organs.
he does talk about some, procedures that were done at the time.
Are classrooms coming down? Anybody bringing classrooms of kids down
It
to
is
this
a
stuff?
PA day that day, so we are just hoping parents and families come down,
The
right?
Friday's a PA day.
Yes.
So that's a wonderful reason to say.
Yes.
And if you have to work, then get families together, find somebody to take a whole bunch of kids down. And that way your kids are entertained during the day when they're not in school.
Now, the library is also putting on workshops of music shakers, so that there will be different crafts available for everyone to engage in.
Wow. So is there going to be any kind of a walk? In the past, I know you've done a walk from one location to the other. Is that part of this at all? Or are people just free to mingle and wander as they please?
So we're hoping to have, we will be having greeters between the locations, and we'll be handing out the day's events, kind of pushing to move on. And when they get to these locations, the Art Gallery, the Library, and the Ermitinger, they'll get a stamp, and then they can put it in for door prizes.
Door prizes too?
So
All of this free, fun, and prizes. and Tootsie Rolls and music and karaoke. I love karaoke.
Now, I have to mention in there too and thank Community Living Algoma because
CLA?
they come in for, yes, CLA. They come in for the day and provide free popcorn.
Popcorn free now. Okay, tell us again the dates and the times when we can get involved. So first of all, this starts on Wednesday for the fall.
Fall Festival school tours are Wednesday, Thursday at the Ermitinger.
Okay.
And that is September 26th.
Okay.
27th. And then the 28th, Friday, is actually when we kick off Culture Days at the library at 10 a.m. And then all of us that are participating, and it'll be on the itinerary. You can go from site to site, get your stamps.
If anybody, this is kind of overwhelming to hear this all at once. Is there a place we can go to get all this information, a central location like culturedays.com?
You
or
can go to
Google?
Ontario Culture Days
Oh, really?
2018. You can look it up under the city.
Culturedays.ca.
Yep.
So culturedays.ca, and then you can find our city, and it'll tell you everything you need to know.
Everything you need to
And
know.
print out the whole itinerary.
Here we go, ladies. Posters up. We'll see you all at Culture Days. And what's the one at the Old Stone House called on Wednesday starting? You have your own name.
Fall Rendezvous.
The Fall Rendezvous at the Ermitinger Clerg Culture Heritage. What is it? Ermitinger Clerg
National Historic Site.
Historic Site. Ladies, it's been a blast.
Thank you, Tim.
Thank you.
Have fun at Culture Days.
We will.
Just come out, create, participate, and share.
Create, participate, and share. Okay, one more time. Here we go. We're going to commercial. We'll be back with the Humane Society right after this. Don't go anywhere.
Thank you.
Viva Las Vegas! Viva Las Vegas! Viva Las Vegas with your. Let's twist again, like we did last summer. Yeah, let's twist again, like we did last year.
Welcome back to Mornings with Luann and Tim and Kanga and Rue and Laura from the Humane Society.
Good morning.
Hi, buddy. All right, so Laura, these dogs, you call them what?
Kanga and Rue.
I have Kanga, you have Rue.
I do.
Those are not their given names. We don't know what their names are because someone left these two beautiful dogs in the night deposit.
Yes, together.
Right, together. So they are a pair.
Yeah.
So we're looking for a family who can handle two sweet dogs. I believe they are poodle crosses of some sort.
Yeah, I think he might be like a Maltese poodle mix.
I own a Maltese poodle, but I don't think what I got was really a Maltese. This looks more like a Maltese
It does,
poodle.
yeah.
My dog does not look like a Maltese poodle.
I almost think this one's like a Yorkie.
A Yorkie
Poodle,
something.
maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. But the light coloring is
Yeah.
what makes it difficult to tell. Maltese generally are white.
White, yeah.
So anyway, Kanga, you're guessing they are how old?
About 4 years old.
See, once again, we're encouraging, we did this before, Laura, encouraging anybody, if you're going to drop a pet off at the night box, and they are your pets that you have knowledge of names, diet, what they've been eating, how old they are,
Special needs,
what kind of medication, what kind of treatments they've had, if any. It would be great if you could just put a note in with that information, because that'll help Laura and Cindy and the staff when the dogs are being adopted. Now, these dogs, you've already had them neutered.
Yes, we had them neutered last week.
So that means whoever adopts them does not have to have them neutered. And you are also telling me that to adopt two dogs, you reduce the fee.
Yes, we drop one of the adoption fees. We still take the $90 deposit.
Right.
That helps us offset the cost of neutering
Because
them.
you had to pay to have them neutered.
Yes, and we give them their vaccines.
They have their initial vaccines
Yeah,
then.
they don't have their rabies, but they do have all their initial shots and
Okay.
everything. Oh, I love kisses. Thank you.
Oh, see that? Now, you also said that one of the reasons why these dogs have to go together is because this little guy, we call him Rue.
Yes.
He gets very distraught when he's separated from Kanga.
Yes, he runs the show.
Oh, he's the boss?
Oh, he's the boss.
He's your boss? He's in charge of you?
If you do come to the Humane Society to see them too, they're not actually on our adoption side because he is a Houdini. So we have to have him over on our stray side where we have a plexiglass run because he can actually climb our dog runs.
Whoa! So you
And-
have to have a secure yard if you're
Yeah.
going to adopt these dogs.
Exactly.
Right? And make sure that they stay tied up or leashed.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing I just noticed when he was looking at me, when you were looking at me, I noticed that he has very good teeth.
Yes, they both do.
Someone's taking care of these
Yeah.
animals. He's a little. You need a little bit of a trim here. I feel
he's-
some matting
he
going
does
on.
a little bit.
So that's okay.
They
That's
could probably both benefit from professional grooming.
well, that's okay. You know what? My dogs love to get groomed. When they're done, they're like,
Oh, yeah.
"Yay! I feel so pretty." Now that you've met me, you love me. Don't you want to switch?
Sure.
Okay. Hi, Roo. How are you? He's so light.
Yes,
This
he-
dog weighs nothing.
He's the more active of the
I'm sure I'm
two.
hitting my microphone. Oh, look at the belly. Where's your belly? Where's your belly? Oh, look! I just
Yeah.
saw his testicles where he had.
I know.
Where he had his work done.
They're a little bruised.
That's okay, but they're still so gentle and they're so loving.
They are.
Now, what
Yeah.
about barking?
They do this. Kanga has a tendency to bark when he wants something. They both, in the night deposit box, had bark collars on, which leads me to believe they were a little bit of barkers.
Okay, so you maybe probably not an apartment dog.
No,
And they are rather frisky still for 4 years old.
they are. I don't think they had a whole lot of training coming in, which is probably why they were ended up being dropped off, because they got to a point where it was just no training, no manners.
Right. Okay. So someone's going to need to take this some time. We need a loving home where someone can. How are they with other dogs or children? Have you noticed yet?
We haven't had them out with children, but they don't seem to care.
They don't
about-
seem. No, they seem so friendly.
Yeah.
They did bark when our other guests walked into the green room. They barked.
Yeah.
So they are a good watchdog.
Yes, and they were barking until I sat them up on my knee as well.
But as soon as you hold these dogs, they look at him like.
I know.
Look at how
They
affectionate.
were good in the car too. Coming
Okay,
over.
so listen, we're looking for a home for these two beautiful dogs, someone who's going to be able to spend some time with them, maybe do some training with them.
Yes.
And of course, there are local places where you can get your dog trained. It's never too old. 4 years old is not too late to teach a dog new
Absolutely
tricks,
not.
right?
These little guys tend to be quite smart. So.
Very smart and so gentle and loving. So please get a hold of Laura at the Humane Society. You're open this weekend.
We are noon to 5, both
Yeah.
Saturday and Sunday.
And Sunday as well. But be prepared. This is a lifetime commitment, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back with more Mornings with Luann and Tim right after this.
Do you remember when it first started? September, love was changing the minds of tender while chasing.
Walking on sunshine, whoa. I'm walking on sunshine, whoa. I'm walking on sunshine.
I need a bowl of water. I'm
How
panting
cute
like the
were
puppies.
they?
It's warm in here
It's
today,
very
Lou.
warm.
It's humid out
Yeah.
there.
Well, it went up to 20 overnight.
What's
which
it going
is
to be
so
like
weird.
this weekend? Do we know?
Well, we don't know yet, but watch for heavy winds this afternoon. So
Right,
be
that's
careful
right.
of that. No warnings yet, but it's going to pick up this afternoon. So
Right
if you
on.
have any ornaments outside, bring them in.
And have a great weekend. Please head down to the Roberta Bondar Pavilion for Run for the Cure on September the 30th. Don't forget that. And we'll be back on Monday with Mornings with Luann and Tim.
Have an awesome weekend.